guys, what's up? Welcome to my first episode on my new vlog. I'm really excited about this. And in the hot seat with me today, the long-awaited interview with Mr. Anton Buckner, owner
guys, how you
of Savage Support.
Thanks, Roger.
So Ant, I want to find out for you, basically the purpose of this vlog. We want to know the people behind the fitness industry in South Africa.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And as far as I've known you, you've always been involved in strength and powerlifting, and I think you are one of the most significant trainers to speak to in that regard. So if you can just let the viewers know, how you started, where you started from, and things like that.
Well, let's just keep this simple. I'm going to just tell everybody who I am and where I come from, to basically give them some sort of insight of who I am. My name is Anton, 33, born in Durban, raised in Morningside, came from quite a big family. My mom really has been the pillar of everybody in our family. Raised three stepchildren as well as 4 of us. Basically installed great values, and I grew up in an area that was quite tough. Lots of sort of like people fighting and things going on. So I learned at a young age to actually be quite tough and quite hard. And basically those sort of lessons have carried me throughout my days, and some of those lessons have been good and some of those lessons have been bad, in the respect that learning to be like that when you are so young sometimes makes you older than what you actually need to be.
You were forced to grow up.
You were forced to grow up when I was quite young. So I went to primary school. Believe it or not, I was a long distance runner. As everybody would probably disbelieve. Quite a few of my siblings also are very good runners. So basically played a little bit of sport in like primary school, and then going on high school I didn't really do much. Then when I was in, it was grade 10, which would have been standard 8, I was asked to go play rugby. I didn't really succeed because I was quite tall and skinny and I didn't have a really strong frame. So Brian Belcher, who was he was one of the rugby coaches, he basically said to me, well, come through to the gym and let me take you. So Brian took me through to the George Campbell gym, which was and still is one of the oldest gyms in Durban, owned by Rob Bowman, very, very nice guy. Sorry, the guys are calling me to train. So
they can wait for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes.
Yeah, so 2 seconds. Guys, just carry on. See you now. Okay. So what happened was started training in the gym, really enjoyed it. Brian Belcher always taught me about powerlifting, got me squatting, bench pressing, deadlifting. I didn't really have a set plan then, but what I did do is I went through to all the local municipal libraries, Namia, Musgrave, Central, took up all the old bodybuilding books, legends that many of you would know, such as Arnold, that's on my vest, Frank Zane, Reg Park, just to name a few. Really enjoyed sort of like training principles from Tom Platz, who has some of the biggest legs of all.
Yeah, he's known for that.
Yeah, like really amazing.
Yeah.
So trained, really enjoyed it. At the time I was working as well when I was growing up. Started working when I was about 8 or 9, delivering papers with my brothers and my sister. Then throughout high school I was doing like odd jobs like waitering and all that sort of stuff. And basically Finished high school with with a fair sort of amount of training. So I started when I was 15. Finished high school when I was basically 17, and then basically in 2002 I'd heard of Jack Ford's gym that used to be in Brickhill Road. They had moved to the Game City gym, and they were like the premier gym. So I basically moved to the Game City gym, which was an underground gym, very very hardcore.
I'm sure it's like pretty unheard of, like back in the day, so to speak. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not-
Durban's always had a very strong powerlifting background, believe it or not. South Africa as well, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's never been a mainstream sport. So what happened is I went there and I spoke to Andy Becker, who was basically running the gym at the time, and I asked him, how do I get into it? And he said, no, I must go speak to these guys at a certain time. So I waited for about a week, and I was watching him train all these big guys and
just
grunting
observing and
and massive weights and chalk and seeing things that I couldn't believe. So anyway, started to build up the courage, and I went there the one day, and Neville Primich was there. So he saw me staring and standing there on one side, so he actually called me over. And he basically, spoke to me and asked me, who I was and all that. So he basically took me under his wing. If you don't know who Neville Primich is, he's a multi times WPC world champion lifter.
Okay, so just to go back to the WPC acronym, because not a lot of people would know what that means.
Okay, so WPC is World Powerlifting Championships, or something to that extent. And it's a non-regulated federation, meaning that it's privately run and owned. It's not linked to any of the main sporting bodies in any of the countries. And basically, a lot of the guys lifted in that during the apartheid era, because a lot of the sanctioned bodies weren't allowed to basically lift in other countries, so they had to find ways of actually getting around it to actually do their sport. So you also get the IPF, which is the main regulating powerlifting body, which is basically connected to the Commonwealth Games. That's in South Africa. You can actually get your SASCOC colours, and you can achieve like a fair amount of representation if you're that good,
And that's obviously a bit more regulated and rigid, so to speak.
Regulated, very very rigid. They have very very specific rules which don't accommodate for outside of competition. Which is what I actually wanted. I wanted the federation to basically lift out of enjoyment, because you spend all this money and you're not paid for it, and like it's all out of the fun and like the passion for the sport. So I joined the GPC again in 2012 or 2013, and then basically the GPC is the Global Powerlifting Committee, and I've been powerlifting with them since. But just to take a step back, started powerlifting officially in 2001. Rory Skippers, he started a little bit before me, so I've known Rory since then. And then I did powerlifting until 2005. I had to have a major surgery on my stomach. Went out of the sport a little bit. Got back into training about 2007 properly. Started strongman with Rory. Rory took me under his wing, basically coached me in strongman. Did that along with a few other things that many of you might not believe. I did MMA, which is called mixed martial arts. I also incorporated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I did for about 3 years. So I did strongman, bit of powerlifting, bit of MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Strength combined with martial arts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically.
Yeah, it's, you know what, it's possible to a certain extent, but I was trying to get strong and also trying to get good.
Because
at
you
these
have to have
other sports.
some level of agility for martial arts.
Agility, you got to be limber, you know,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
be stiff, you know, you got to, you know, you got to be quite fit, obviously,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, and your muscles adapt.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, not the best thing to do. In those years, I got a lot of injuries. Then basically went off strongman for about a year to like try to recover. Went back into it in about 2010, I think, 11, 12, somewhere around there. And then once again, because I'd been training quite hard, I pushed myself and I got more injuries.
Yeah.
So like the whole moral of the story is this: if you're going to do a sport, very important for you to focus on it. Very important for you to dedicate your time and your energy towards the sport so that you can achieve those goals. Powerlifting can be used to strengthen other sports, but you can't do other sports and make your powerlifting better, because what happens is somewhere down the line you're going to get injuries. There's very, very few sports which will help benefit powerlifting, but powerlifting as itself will like benefit every single sport. Because when you are training for maximal strength, it's like your body adapts and your muscles adapt, and you use certain types of muscle fibers more than others, and your body basically sets it into a certain motion so that you can actually get stronger. But if you start incorporating other forms of exercise, that's when the injuries come.
This is actually something I was thinking about last night. I mean, we kind of stuck in a society where it's, you know, if you do more,
Yeah.
it's better, but
Yeah,
not necessarily
yeah.
so. You know, it's like.
You know, like if you wanted to become like a proper functional athlete, you would do stuff that the guys used to do back 30, 40, 50 years ago,
Yeah.
where they did a lot of functional strength. They didn't have the facilities that we had. Nowadays, they didn't have all the information that we have.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we've got too much information on our hands and too many people giving us advice,
Yeah.
and we're not just keeping to the basics, and we're not doing the things, you know. So that's one of the things there. You got a call, Raksha?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
It's fine.
It's
Okay. Yeah, so basically started back in powerlifting, stopped my strongman because my body was too broken. It's taken me quite a few years to basically get back into it. I can finally say that at the end of last year, as well as this year, I feel good, pretty much
Last
injury-free.
year was a pretty good year for you.
Yeah, pretty good year. Got selected to go through to the GPC World Champs. Went there without any expectations, because I'm not the strongest guy out there, but I knew that there was it's like I knew that there was a chance. So basically placed third in the world. But still got a long way to go. The guy that beat me by almost 90 kgs, but I'm catching up to him. He's also getting stronger. So yeah, made a hell of a lot of new friends there. Spoke to a lot of people, really enjoyed myself, and so hopefully I will get the opportunity to do it again soon. So that's basically my sporting career. Along the way as well, a guy by the name of Johnny K, who was in the previous little video, he also coached me and helped me, and he's been by my side throughout these many years. I've had a lot of support. And I recently just met this girl who has the same sort of passions as me, and she's really a rock. She stays close on 630 or 40 k's away from me, so it's hard, but she's really good. So
you want to say hi to
this
her?
is a shout out to Megan. Shout out to Megan. So,
Hi, Megan.
hey Megan. So yeah, I had to throw her name in.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's good to have that kind of support system.
Yeah.
So just to give the viewers a background of your coaching experience now, from the research I've done on you, a little bit of stalking.
Coaching was, I always knew that I was slightly different from the rest. So when I was doing all these aptitude tests before I left high school, everything kind of pointed me to like a different
Yeah,
path.
of course.
So all my brothers were in IT, and I had a very good sort of grinding in that, and I really like stuff like horticulture, gardening, and all that sort of stuff. So I was looking into that, but none of the aptitudes basically pointed me towards those fields. So when I went through to the Technicon, I went through a Technicon called ML Sultan, and they had their first sports management diploma there. So basically, I saw it and I was like,
Now known
is
as DUT, by the way.
So now it's known as DUT. The head of the department, Bobby Nadu, was really genuine cat, really nice guy.
Sorry, we have an interruption.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll be just. Yeah. Oops, that was me.
Hi.
My bad.
Okay, so so we're going to quickly wrap this up. So basically, started studying sports management. Got really involved with the Comrades American Association because Bobby was the chairman at the time. So for about 3 years, we were involved every year from athletes, stage, like the whole sort of race setup, doping control. So finished my studies, went straight into personal training because that was my passion. Started in 2004 at Kings Park Virgin Active. I worked there, moved into a private facility with another guy by the name of Abdul Hassan. Worked with him for a while, then moved into another facility, then moved into a big gym called Berea Gym. Then at the same time of Berea Gym, I started my own gym called Pure Power in 2007, and just throughout the years built it up. Had quite a nice little training base there. And then finally, I've come through to strength events with Rory Skippers. I think it's been quite a nice sort of like circle in the whole thing. You know, where we actually started off together, and like now we're here. Now we've got like such a lacquer environment, nice little team behind us. Gym is growing, more sort of like speciality things. We're starting to improve in like the strongman section again. So we're gonna have a strongman and a strong woman section soon. We got some really cool stuff that nobody has. So very excited, and like my clients are also very excited because I've got some clients that have been training since 2004, and some of them are trained here, some of them are basically online. So 2017 gonna be a good year, guys.
Awesome. So just before we wrap things up, any advice you have to up and coming fitness professionals?
Right. So because it's quite a niche field, and because it's quite a limited field, you're going to have a lot of people that question your ability, question your passion, question what you know. Don't let that deter you. Build a niche for yourself. Find a type of clientele that's going to fit in with you. Find people with passion. Find people with the same sort of motivation and direction as you. And basically, you have to work at improving your skills because it's a field that grows every year.
Okay, so we had a bit of a technical difficulty there.
So we're back.
We're back. Yes.
So basically, what I was saying is that you have to constantly evolve. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to move forward.
Constantly ask questions, constantly research.
Constantly ask questions, constantly become better as like an athlete as well. Believe me, when Rory started Strongman, he had nothing. He built all the equipment himself. When I started Strongman, we used to go to his garage, pull out the stuff, put it onto the back of the buckies, drive the buckies to a local park, train, load the stuff back on the buckies, and then put it back in the garage. So you don't need to have the best facility. You don't need to have the most fancy facility. You don't need fancy slogans and people wearing the best clothes. What you need is passion, you need hard work, and you need to have that dedication. Very, very important.
And of course, before we say goodbye, could you just tell the guys, how they can get hold of you?
Yeah, sure. So I run a brand called Savage Supports. I do all the gym gear. So I supply all the guards and powerlifting, strongman, a bit of weightlifting as well as a bit of CrossFit. And my direct mailing address is sales@savagesupports.co.za. You can also find me on Facebook, Savage Supports, Instagram, Savage Supports. And you're more than welcome to contact me at any time. I normally give advice free of charge because I believe that advice has to be free. And I'm always willing to help anybody out.
Awesome. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
your time.
Raksha. I'll chat to you
really
later.
Appreciate it. Cool.
Go train.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and just stay. Sorry, my phone just went a bit weird there. I really need to sort my technical difficulties.
Sort it out.
Yeah. So guys, that is a wrap up of my first interview done for my vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Cool.